What's a profession you've seen phased out in your lifetime? I'm in my early 50s. Here are some. 1. Executive assistant, secretary. When I started my career, even low-level managers had a person to write memos, answer their phone, and plan their travel. I worked in a company of 3,000 people and I bet there were 100 of them. Now I'm guessing there are 2. 2. The entire industry of pricing guns. Everything in the store had a small white sticker with the price on it. The UPC code and scanner eliminated this and probably half of the jobs that stock shelves. 3. Small engine repair. Sure, there are still some people out there doing this, but small engines used to fail constantly and everyone had a few of them. Reliability of the devices has reduced the number of people doing this. 4. Cobbler. There used to be people that fixed shoes and shined shoes. Every town had one. Every man had his shoes shined often. 5. Manual processing. Factories used to be full of people doing ordinary things, like flipping over a different piece of metal every 8 seconds, or pulling green apples off of the conveyor belt. Now that robotic systems are easy to program and cheap to buy, those jobs don't exist. I worked as a journalist for a local newspaper, which alone is an endangered species sadly. But so many jobs around the reporter are already extinct. I remember reading the local newspaper as a kid and thinking these folks had the coolest jobs. I loved writing, and these people got to go around the city learning about cool shit and then come back to write about it. And every so often, they get to hold some asshole in power accountable. What could be better? I went to college 2004 to 2008 with every intention of becoming a journalist. If you look up the profitability graph of local newspapers, these are the exact year when they had a major decline. And then I graduated into the housing crisis. My career took a detour, and by the time I got a job as a journalist for a local paper, the office was nearly empty. A few reporters. 2 ads guys. Someone at the front desk. A delivery partner. 1 person for graphics. That's it. No full-time photographers or paginators. Those positions were rolled into the reporter responsibilities. No printers. That was outsourced. Our office had a huge printing press in the back room that was empty and inoperable now because it became too costly to maintain. The whole thing is tragic. I've since moved on. It was a fun job, but it's even more fun to earn enough money to pay for both rent and food. The shit of it is that now that small town simply has no one to tell them what's going on with the school board, the water district, and so on. I don't know the name of this occupation. But when I was a kid in the 1970s, lining the sidewalks up and down my street were parking meters which took only dimes. Every now and then I'd spot the guy whose job it was to empty the parking meters of the dimes into this large metal trunk-shaped box on wheels. He'd put his key into the lock of the parking meter, pull out the front round part where all the dimes were located, stick it into a circular hole at the top of the metal trunk, give it a twist, and one could hear all the dimes pouring into the trunk. Then he'd put back the circular thing into the parking meter, and go to the very next parking meter to repeat the process. Did this with each and every parking meter up and down, both sides of the street.